All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone Well. Peace, blessings, salutations to those for elect that is out there, pushing, laboring, believing, listening on to the truth with our sincerity. All right, and may the blessing election be upon your houses. All right, the topic of this lesson, as you can see, what's on the screen right now, all right, is the New Year's in Janus, right? And just going into that origin, right? And you could do a quick Google search as you see what I typed in right here. I just typed in New Year's and Janus origin, all right, and it gives you, the origin of where we get the that New Year's holiday celebration tradition and where it stems back to. All right, so the New Year's really stems back to a two-faced god right here, right? One of these pagan gods, right, named Janus, right? And this is a a depiction, to show you it, right? And as I scroll down, you see a couple more different type of pictures of it, right? It's a two-faced god, right? And I'm gonna read a little bit on it, right? It says the new year beginning on January 1st comes from ancient Rome, named for the two-faced god Janus, the god of beginnings, transitions, and doorways who look to the past and future. Romans celebrated this day with good wishes, gifts like figs and honey, and resolutions, a custom that mirrors our modern traditions of reflecting on the old year and planning for the new, making January 1st a symbolic doorway to the year ahead, right? And right here says the god of beginnings, right? Let's see, there's something else I want to get here, right? Boom, right here, right? It says the calendar change, right? It says while the Roman calendar originally began in March, King Numa Pompilus added January and February, dedicating January to Janus, right? Even showing you that, the name for the month January goes back to that pagan god Janus. And in 153 BC, January 1st became the official start of the year. All right, and during that time, you see people be, making resolutions. They be, making all these wishes, saying, "Hey, yeah, January 1st, I'm gonna start going to the gym. I'm gonna stop talking to this person. I'm gonna change this about myself." And when you really look at it, a big majority of people's New Year's resolutions, quote unquote New Year's resolutions, they don't even keep them, man. They don't even keep up with them. Right? They probably do it for like a couple days, the first week, the first month, whatever the case may be, and go right back to the same bullshit, man. All right. But also, I want to get this too because, this Gregorian calendar is so, out of course, man. All right, because it has it here as January 1st being the beginning of a new year. All right, and this is the time of winter. All right, you know, but according to the scriptures, right, the real time when the new year begins is in the time of spring, right? And matter of fact, I'm gonna get this in Exodus, the 12th chapter, right? I'm gonna start at the top. It reads, "And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for this lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats," right? And this is really going into the, the Passover, right? The time of the Passover, the Pesach, right? Which is, in the spring, right? Which is like it says in verse 2, this month shall be the beginning of months, right? And that's the Pesach usually around the time of March, March, April, roughly. That's the time when that, when there is truly a new year, right? But here it is following this, Gregorian calendar, right? They have you to believe that the new year is in the time of in the time of January, right? After that pagan god Janus, which is in the winter. That's completely off, man. Right? The new year is really in the spring, right? According to us reading the scriptures. But yet people are still, following after this, making these New Year's resolution, worshiping these pagan gods unknowingly and knowingly, man. Right? A lot of people know that, January New Year's goes back to a pagan god named Janus, and they do not care. They still do it, man. And the Lord got a bone to pick with you individuals out there that's still following these pagan holidays, that celebrating, worshiping these pagan holidays that go back to these, false gods, these idol gods, man, without even caring, man. The Lord has a real bone to pick with you individuals, man. Terrible judgment is gonna fall upon individuals like that, man. All right, because you've been warned and showed the truth, but yet you continually, are serving and worshiping these idol gods. All right, I'm gonna get this real quick in Jeremiah, which is Jeremiah 10:2. It reads, "Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them." Right? Lord telling us to learn not the way of the heathen, man. Do not what the heathen do. Right? These are heathenistic customs, man. This is what the heathen do. The heathen are the one that worship Janus, that do the whole resolution and good wishes, and bringing offerings and all this thing unto their idol gods, man. Right? But yet our people are following after the heathen, man. Right? And it's bugged out, right? Because you see all these different, traditions that Jake be doing on New Year's, man. You got Levi, right? Levi going to church, on New Year's, making they soup on New Year's, doing all these different things, man. You got these other, tribes that do all these different type of, traditions, quote unquote, to say that they do on New Year's, man. And yet they know they're really, worshiping that idol god Janus, man, knowingly and unknowingly. All right. Let me see a little bit more. I was gonna get on this. Right. One sec. Right, yeah. I want to get this too. Right, the two faces, right? It says Janus is famously depicted with two faces, one looking backward, the other forward, symbolizing the transition from the old year to the new year. And man, that two-faced shit is through, right? And that's a saying you hear, people say in the world. They be like, man, this individual, that's a two-faced person, man. You can't trust him, man. Right? And even with a lot of these, these pagan demons, right? You look at certain depictions of them, they be having two faces, man. Right? They be looking all bugged out. And when you look at a picture here, this one look bugged out. It's like, here it is. You got an individual with like horns and some type of it's like, what could I compare this to? Like elf ears. And this one looking like I guess you could say like a regular human, man. Right? But they be looking all different types of bugged out, man. All right. This is what people are worshiping out here, man. Right? This is what people are worshiping out here. Oh, and I didn't even know this right here. This is actually new to me. Right? It looks like Janus got a symbol. Right? This is the symbol, I assume. It looks like they got a couple different ones, man. It looks like it's going back a little bit here to the astrology. Right? But at the end of the day, this is all, the ways of the heathen, man. Or these are all just ultimately going back to these, to these fake, idol, pagan gods, man. Right? I'm gonna get this too. In Exodus 20. Right? This Exodus 23. It reads, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." Right? Point blank period. The Lord said, don't have any other gods before him, man. Right? Our power is a jealous power, man. These other gods don't have, any real force, man. Right? They don't have any real power. Right? Like scripture says, they have eyes, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. They have mouths, but they speak not, man. Right? These are false gods that our people are out here worshiping. And, not even just, New Year's, right? With Janus, you got, Christmas, you got Valentine's Day, you got Easter, what else? St. Patrick's Day, all these, holiday celebrations go back to these pagan false idol gods. In reality, you people are worshiping demons, man, unknowingly, thinking that, oh yeah, it's just the New Year's, we just celebrating new beginnings, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, you're worshiping a demon, right? And for those of you that know this and continually do it and don't care, the Lord is going to judge you terribly, man. That's why you see a lot of the times on that January 1st, right? From New Year's Eve to New Year's Day, you see that in that time frame, you see these demons are real active, man. The roads be all hectic, people driving all crazy, right? People getting killed, right? All type of disasters are happening, right? Motherfuckers going missing, children going missing, people getting kidnapped, all right? Because those demons be highly active on these holidays, man, right? You see that a lot, man, right? And I believe too on January 1st, I forgot what it was, where it was located. I believe it was in either Sweden or Switzerland, right? There was I believe it's a club or a bar, right, on their New Year's celebration. That shit caught fire, man, and people were trapped inside. I believe 40 people perished in that fire, man, right? A lot of people injured, burnt badly. Okay, you had a famous rapper or an up and coming rapper named Z the Wizard got shot in the head in the club on New Year's. Right, you got people getting into all types of car accidents. Right, the Lord be unleashing that judgment on that time, man. These demons, these spirits be active on that day, man. But yet people think it's all fun and games. Let's go out, let's turn up, let's do this, down the third. Right, pop fireworks blowing up in people's hands. All right, the Lord be judging individuals on this day, man. Right, because we should not even be partaking in the festivities, in the celebration of worshiping these idol gods, man. All right, you better all sitting your ass at home and and treating it like another day, man. All right, instead of being out here like the rest of the people in the world, worshiping these false idol gods, man. All right, but hey, I'm not gonna make this lesson too long-winded, man. Just real quick, straight to the point. But nevertheless, that New Year's, goes back, to the idol god Janus, man. That's where the name January comes from. All right. But nevertheless, I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of Israel. With that being said, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakwakadash, the bonds to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone Well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the full elect that is out there pushing, laboring, believing, and listening on to this truth with our sincerity. Until next time, shalom, and a ball, Kwame Sharala, shalom.